Welcome you all to the Odia machine learning conference. So before starting my talk, I'll just introduce myself. I am Dr. Shantipriya Parida. So I work in IDIAP Research Institute in Switzerland. So you can look into the institution picture here. So if you look into the picture, it's a, maybe you can find it behind the mountains all from snow. It's situated in a small city, Martigny, in Switzerland, and mostly it's a purely research institutes work in different domain in machine learning, artificial intelligence, robotics, natural language processing, and it's affiliated to EPFL. And so those are interested for various PhD, postdoc, or research positions can go and check the IDIAP sites for openings which advertise throughout the year. So the topic is I want to cover is about the Odia natural language processing resource development. So if you look, we have many authors, and so I want all the contributors to appear the names, and so mostly the credit goes to all. So I am only the presenting the teamworks as behalf of the team. So the agenda of my talk is about mostly cover the NLP resource development with supported with some case study. So we'll start from the overview, then the current scenarios, and the need for this NLP resource development, and one of our recent work, Odian Corp, and building a NLP resource catalog for Odia language, and the conclusion. So mostly, as you know, I'll not go more detail into the NLP part, but it is one of the challenging field in machine learning and artificial intelligence, and basically it enables computers to read text or your speech, interpret it, and it can measure the sentiment and determine part of speech. And for many NLP tasks like fake news detection or language detection, so there are various activities can be performed using this natural language processing. And in terms of current scenarios, why it is so much required. So as you know, the current scenario, the context to Odia language, we everyone know that okay, Odia language, it has a rich cultural heritage, but this is not completely digitized or accessible, which lacks of resources. And when it comes to NLP resource and development, the availability of resources are either very limited, and another issue is that they are not available online. So most of the time the researchers are facing problems in particularly to Odia language resource. It is the same problem similar to other low resource languages as well. So what kind of NLP resources can be developed for their language? So if you look into most of the NLP tasks, they need some data set or some resources. So mostly if you look into, I have listed down some of the NLP resources. So developing NLP research resources, it requires the attention of all, like language corpus, which is basically need for machine translation or better language models like BOT or Robota, or better, which has better embeddings to for many NLP tasks, or dataset for like for abstract text summarization or topic detection, named entity, fake news detection, aggressiveness or hate speech detection, code miss detection, dialect detection, tree bank. So some of the major NLP tasks here I have highlighted. So, and if you look into most of the NLP tasks I have highlighted here, the resources are either very limited, or some of the resources, most of the resources you cannot find online. And due to this, although many researchers, they're not able to perform research on this kind of NLP task. So our main motivation or our main work in this direction is building resources so that others can work and they can contribute to it. So it will not only help the NLP researchers, it can help government, for example, for building various services which can be accessible for which can accessible to people, and also it can help industry to building product localization and better customer reach. So so this is the main need for developing Odia NLP resource. So I just gave a small case study based on our recent work. So this case study is based on building a Odia English corpus for machine translation. So I'll not go through much details about describing our language, as most of you know that Odia language, it's a branch of the Indo-European language family and one of the official language of India, and it is a classical language. But here the problem we are describing is about English to Odia machine translation systems. Although you know that recently Google has added, and other machine translation companies, they're trying to provide the machine translation system for English to Odia. But the major reason why it took a long time and so much, after so many applications of demand, it took so much time to introduce such a machine translation system in Odia, is the major problem is the lack of corpus, because there was no datasets were available. And so in this direction, actually, we are trying to build a language corpus, and our objective is to make it free so that everybody can access to this and freely use our corpus for research or non-commercial purpose. So this work we started with this is the second version. We started with Odian Corp 1.0, that was smaller in size, and recently we released a bigger version, Odian Corp 2.0. So for building this corpus, so these are the various sources of collecting the data. Like most of the data we have collected from Odia Wikipedia or the available online resources. Apart from online, we also try to take some parallel sentences in English and Odia available in various literature or books or dictionaries, and we use OCR techniques to collect these. And also, although most of the times for pre-processing we do automatically, for some of cases we also use some manual manual methods, or we can call it manual effort by some human volunteers. And finally, we do all the pre-processing and we build this Odian Corp 2. So already I have explained the steps for this data processing. and extraction of plain text or manual processing for OCR based approach, and sentence segmentation. This is mostly we did for long paragraphs, for example like Wikipedia, where the sentences are in long paragraphs, so we need to do alignment. So for that, first we segmented into based on some English word based on their English full stop, or Odia sentences using Odia Tanda or Purnaviram. The major problem we found in the Odia Wikipedia is that it is not properly one-to-one alignment. So if you take the down also, there is not exactly mapping from English to Odia. For example, like from one English sentence, there can be 2 to 3 sentence for Odia. So there is a challenge like that, exactly how you split or make a one-to-one alignment so that it can be useful for this corpus. And so we did some sentence alignment for this kind of cases. And this is the final dataset size and the domain which covered. So if you can look into most of the data covered by different domains. For example, it can be from daily usage learning or general tourism, government policies, Bible, literature. So finally, the Orion Corp 2 is around 1 lakh sentences. And we have splitted the corpus into training, development, and test for directly used for machine translation to train the models and for evaluations. So we did one baseline for this. If you can see, this is the baselines for English to Odia or Odia to English. So we did the performance measurement using one of the metrics called Sacred Blue. Or so this matrix is basically do a comparison between the output with the output with the reference. So this is the final result of English to Odia and Odia to English, and this corpus is available freely for research and non-commercial purpose. And we use this corpus in the recent WT 2020. It's a workshop for Asian translation. So if you look into this, is one of the prestigious conference, mostly Asian languages. So the idea is like that. It's a this conference organize a shared task. The shared task is mostly translation task of Asian languages like English, Japanese, Chinese, Korean. So here, so this year we have introduced English to Odia and Odia to English. And so also we have participated this year in this set task, and also some of the scores of different teams is highlighted here. Yeah, we are happy to got some best score this year. So this is first one is for English to Odia and second is for Odia to English. And also we try to build a NLP resource catalog. So the idea is like that all the available NLP resources we want to put into one place. So any one interest for Odia language research, so they can easily find out. So I request everyone who has have any idea of any of the NLP data set is not listed here, can share us to include it, or you can also share this your known community for their benefit. And in the final, we want to say that, yeah, in future, we want to extend this Odian Corp 2. And also we try to release our Odia English machine translation systems, which we use WT 2020 for machine translation for everyone, for research and but mostly for research and non-commercial purpose. And also we are in a process of building many NLP resources currently, and in future we are planning to release them for researchers. And also if anybody is interested to have a collaborations, they are also welcome. And for any question answers, you can mail me. So these are the references, and these are the teams, and I thankful to most of the team members and also my supervisors for their interest, guidance, and the team members for their dedication. So then I would like to thank you all for listening to me, and I hope you can enjoy the next sessions. Thank you.